The Archway project is an umbrella title that covers a whole range of developments.
We're creating a new World Heritage Centre for everyone to learn about how fantastic Bath is and how much amazing history we have here.
And then there'll be this Roman Bath Learning Centre, which will be my main focus. It will help us bring our facilities way up to date.
It's going to be built in properties very adjacent to the Roman baths. In fact, connected to them by an archway, which is what has given its name to the project.
This exhibition is about the Archway Centre, giving members of the public a bit more information about the project that we're doing. Something that people have been really enthusiastic about is the reuse of buildings that aren't currently being used to their full potential.
Once we've run our project, the buildings behind me will be in far better condition, there'll be far better use made of them, there'll be more people around here coming in and out of the World Heritage Centre.
There's the former City Laundry, which is now a shop, the old boiler house and the adjoining workshop building. And they've all been underused for decades. So we're bringing those back to life, we're bringing the public back into those buildings and reuniting them.
So here we are in York Street, right outside the Roman baths, and on the other side of the street is the former spa laundry. This will be where the World Heritage Centre will be, where people can learn about Bath as a World Heritage Site and then come out into the city to go and explore its outstanding universal value.
The city is inscribed for the Roman archaeology, the Georgian town planning and architecture, and the way the landscape integrates with the built environment. The World Heritage Centre will be a hub. It will explain why Bath is of world importance, will tell the stories, enthuse people about it and send them off to explore.
So the World Heritage Centre will be a walk-in free facility off the street, a bit like an information centre, an interpretation centre. People can just come in and walk around, and that will count for anybody who's in town.
You can talk about the Romans a lot in class, and there are videos and lots of images and wonderful books available, but there's nothing really quite like being able to come to the place where it all happened.
We have 250,000 school children come to the Roman baths each year, and we can only at the moment provide formal teaching or learning facilities for less than 5% of those.
They tell us that the quality of learning we provide is great, it's excellent, it's very high, but the facilities in which we provide it aren't up to scratch.
But the room is too small, it doesn't meet accepted standards, there aren't the facilities nearby, lunch, eating and toilet facilities.
We have to spill over into a 19th century meeting room that isn't fit for purpose.
Making this facility available will enormously improve the offer to schools made by the Roman baths, an extra 400% of space in which to carry out practical learning activities.
We don't have to wait until we get back to school to do some of the additional learning. We can do it immediately and on site. You can come out, you can have those discussions and that immediate work that when it's so fresh is more powerful than when they've had time to forget about it before we get back to learning at school.
The Learning Centre will be for people who've booked a group activity, a teaching session, a community activity.
The Archway Centre is a major project creating new spaces, but the important thing is what's going to happen in those spaces.
Say your year twos, in 3 years' time, they could come here, and instead of coming in the main door, they would come through this door.
The Roman Bath Learning Centre's main focus will offer 3 new teaching spaces for school groups, plus an investigation zone.
Everywhere from where we are now towards the baths at first floor level will be the new Learning Centre. There'll be another large teaching space like this. This will be much bigger than you see now.
We've spoken to other stakeholders outside our immediate client team with the schools who are going to be coming in and using the centre, because to understand how they're going to use the building is essential for us in making sure that what we design is appropriate and makes the best use of a really exciting opportunity. But it'll be a really interesting space. It's one within which there'll be a range of activities from dressing up for trying mosaics. It might be a bit chaotic in there, but it needs to be a fun environment. It's certainly not a conventional classroom.
Will this learning class lead up to the main road?
That's. Do you think it should?
Yeah.
And as people stand in Swallow Street, what they don't realise is that actually about 4 metres below where they're standing, there's the Roman archaeology still intact.
This is a space that is connected archaeologically to the Roman baths. There are in situ remains all around us here, and as part of the new development, they will be opened up, properly conserved and beautifully lit.
A new feature that the Learning Centre will have is the investigation zone. And this is a brand new experience for school children visiting the Roman baths.
It'll be called the investigation zone because people will be able to come and investigate in here, investigate those collections that you can still see around us. So we're not going to plaster the walls and paint them magnolia. We want the bare stonework here, the behind the scenes feel, so that when kids and other groups come in here, they do feel they are actually investigating, they're exploring. Nobody's actually looked at this stuff before. It's been here for over 100 years, so it's a unique opportunity. And what we learn from that, we can then translate into teaching materials for school groups and learning groups of all ages. But what's important to note here is the bad condition. This is an uncontrolled environment. We have moss growing on the Roman stonework. This is why we need to do this project now.
People are also interested to know whether they as general public will be able to visit the underground areas, which there will be an area that will be an extension of the current Roman baths.
It needs really quite a lot of work doing to it from a conservation point of view. We will be able to show a laconicum, which is a kind of Roman sweating room, for the first time.
This space, in a sense, will be at the crossroads of the whole complex because the Learning Centre is outside the Roman baths. How will school groups get through to the baths from it? But when we bring people down here, they then understand that exciting connection.
They'll go all the way down to the Roman level, walk through the undercrofts, and there'll be this moment when they emerge onto the apron of the Great Bath. And I think that'll be always a moment of great revelation.
And so you can imagine school groups coming from the Learning Centre through this tunnel, through this mysterious back-of-house area, to this wonderful Roman doorway, and then suddenly, this is the light bulb moment, the wow moment, when they discover they are, in fact, in the heart of the Roman baths. And from here, they can do their project work, they can visit the museum, they can do everything they have to do here, and when they're finished, they can go back under the street, back into the Learning Centre.
The Roman Baths Foundation has an essential part to play in this project.
It enables us to raise money and carry out improvements that would not otherwise happen, and that's very important in this city. The centre has now been designed. We're soon going to apply for planning permission. We're in negotiation with the National Lottery for a major grant.
The project will cost £5 million, and we're applying to the Heritage Lottery Fund for £3.5 million of that. And the council's putting in another £1 million of capital funds as well.
If we're successful with all of our fundraising, then the plan is to start work in spring next year and then hopefully be opening in autumn-winter 2018.
Well, people can actually write a letter to support this project. That would be fantastic.
The important thing is that we know that they support it, so one way or another they need to communicate that to us.
Well, you've got schools that could walk here. I think every single one of them needs to be on board because this is increasing the opportunity for learning resources in their city.
And we are, of course, needing help with our charitable funds, and we hope if you're interested in this project, you'll be able to support us in that way as well.
We're really keen for volunteers to be involved in the project, and that can happen in two ways. One, in the planning and the delivery of the scheme, so being involved in the layout, the construction, advising us as to what they think the public is going to want to see.
We also are looking for volunteers to help us run this centre. This city is a place where people love to come and look, but we want to involve them and educate them about this, our most important monument.
What's really interesting for me about this project is what was interesting about Bath as a city, which is the way that everything is so layered up, and you have these layers of archaeology from Roman through to Georgian through to the modern day, and all of that is encompassed in this project.
I hope the Archway Centre will benefit the Roman Baths by giving us more spaces to do more activities with more children than we've ever done before.
I think what I'm most excited about is the prospect that people are going to go away fizzing with excitement about what they've found here, both about the World Heritage Site and about the Roman Baths, really inspired and motivated, wanting to learn more, wanting to come back, and seeing buildings that are now currently quite underused put to a fantastic new use.